When women of God come to me and they are looking for my services, it's usually because they've been asking themselves one of three questions. The first one is that they are looking for information about saving their marriage and they're wondering, why hasn't God saved my marriage? They have heard testimonies, they've heard stories of marriages that were on the rocks or on the verge of divorce, and God stepped in and did something miraculous, and they have been praying and believing for that to happen in their marriage, but they feel like, why isn't it working for me? Why isn't God saving my marriage? And that's the first question that women are asking themselves when they come to me. The second question is divorce biblical? Once you kind of get past the phase of asking God to save your marriage, you kind of feel like, okay, something is wrong with my marriage and I may need to just proceed with divorce. And so then the next logical question is, how do I know if divorce is right for me from a biblical standpoint? How do I know if God is on board with my ability to get a divorce? And how do I know if I'm doing the right thing? As Christians, as believers, we don't just have to consider the legal aspect of it, but we have to consider the spiritual aspect. Is God okay with the decision that I'm making? If I've made the decision to have him be Lord of my life, then I need to know if he's on board with this kind of a decision, especially since it's such a big decision. And then the last question is, what will happen with the children? Are my children going to be okay if I make the decision to divorce? I've seen all the statistics on divorce. I've seen what people say that they do to children. I've seen all of those things, and I don't want to hurt my children. I feel like the situation that I'm in is untenable, is toxic, and divorce is the way I need to go. But I want to make sure that I'm not making a mistake on behalf of my children. Those are the top three questions that I get from women of God, where they have looked for answers on their own and they just can't seem to find them. I know exactly what they're going through. And if that's you, I know exactly what you're going through. I found myself in the same situation, asking the same questions. And what I found is that God's heart on this subject for women of God that are in toxic relationships or toxic marriages, it's just not out there. Churches aren't teaching it. It's not out there in any books. God's true heart on it just hasn't been revealed in information that's readily available. But I went to God on my own behalf to get those answers, and I have those answers for you. So if you're asking yourself any of those three questions and you've looked for answers but just haven't found the answer that you think matches your situation, then I encourage you to click the link below and find out more.